Mariano Díaz, a name that once resonated as a footballing promise, but today it's a name that's shrouded in controversy and memes and disappointment. From his time at Real Madrid and Olympique de Lyon and Sevilla to his off-pitch troubles, we analyse why Mariano has not met expectations and why no one seems to want to sign him, and why some fans consider him to be, let's say, less than admirable as a player and a person. If you want to know the whole truth, make sure you stay until the end. Beginning with Mariano's rise, Mariano Díaz Mejía was born in Premià de Mar, Spain, 1993, but with Dominican roots which would later shape his career. His story begins in the youth academies of Espanyol and Badalona, but it was at Real Madrid where he began to shine. At Castilla, Mariano was a goal machine, leading to his debut with the first team in 2016. He scored a hat-trick in the Copa del Rey against Cultural Leonesa, and he even scored in the league against Deportivo. Everything was looking good for Mariano. In 2017, Real Madrid sold him to Olympique de Lyon for €8 million, and that's where Mariano exploded. 21 goals and 7 assists in a season with the genius Nabil Fekir feeding him passes into the area. He was the 5th highest scorer in Ligue 1, and he amazed the world. Sevilla wanted to sign him, but Madrid exercised their buyback option for €21 million. It seemed that Mariano was destined to be the next great striker of the all-white club. But then something went wrong. Failure at Madrid. You see, back at Real Madrid in 2018, Mariano inherited Cristiano Ronaldo's number 7 shirt. A lot of pressure, right? And nothing seemed to go as he expected. In 5 seasons, he played just 81 games and scored 12 goals, mostly in minor competitions. Why did he spend so much time on the bench? Well, firstly, there were all the injuries. Mariano suffered constant muscular problems, leaving him out of sorts and out of rhythm. Problems caused by poor diet and a poor lifestyle. And second, there was his lack of adaptation. He just didn't fit in with the style of play of Zidane or Ancelotti, who preferred Benzema or Vinicius. They were faster, with better technical qualities, and they were also favourites of the president, Florentino Perez. And thirdly, there was his attitude. Some rumours suggest that Mariano did not accept his secondary role, and he resisted leaving the club, even when he was not playing. He was more comfortable on the bench of Real Madrid winning the Champions League without playing than having to run on the pitch for minor teams. And then there is his life off the pitch. In 2020, Mariano was linked to parties and controversies and all kinds of things that did not help his image. Something that could be corroborated in February 2025 when Patricia Perez, known as Patri from La Isla de las Tentaciones, the Island of Temptations, confessed to having had an affair with Mariano when he played for Real Madrid. According to Patri, it all happened at a party in Barcelona where they danced and kissed. And although she clarified that it didn't go any further, she also described a murky atmosphere at the party, with rumours of payments to other female friends for their company, and also that hinted that there were other footballers involved in such parties. This revelation not only damaged Mariano's image, but it also fueled criticism of his professionalism. His lack of playing time and his high salary meant that fans began to see him as a liability. 5 years after his signing, in 2023, his contract ended, and Real Madrid did not hesitate to let him go. And then we move on to the fiasco at Sevilla. In September 2023, and off the market, Mariano signed with Sevilla as a free agent. Nobody trusted him, but a sporting director, desperate for results like Victor Masterclass Horta, needed a boost. It was a golden opportunity to relaunch Mariano's career too, but once again it all fell apart. In one season, he only played 13 games with 320 minutes in total on the pitch, and he didn't score a single goal. And then injuries were once more a problem. There was a patella tendon injury which kept him out for months. And what's more, his lack of impact on the pitch meant that Sevilla fans lost patience, and they laughed at him and insulted him. In May 2024, his last game was a defeat against Barcelona, and Sevilla did not renew his contract. But it wasn't all the fault of injuries. Some critics point out that Mariano lacked the mentality to fight for a place, even in a team that was struggling to avoid relegation to the second division, like the rather mediocre Sevilla outfit. While other players were trying hard, he seemed disconnected and disinterested, trapped in a shadow of what he was at Lyon. So what has become of Mariano today? Despite his failures at club level, Mariano has found refuge in the Dominican Republic national team. In March 2025, after 303 days without playing, he was called up, along with other figures such as the former Real Madrid Castilla player Peter Federico and the former FC Barcelona and Real Betis player Junior Firpo. And that was for a friendly against Puerto Rico, where, surprisingly, Mariano scored a goal. But even this has not changed his luck at club level. Why are teams so reluctant to sign him? Well, firstly, there's his history of injuries. This scares many potential suitors. They simply don't trust Mariano when it comes to injuries. They think he might relapse. Secondly, his recent performance is poor. 0 goals at Sevilla does not inspire us confidence. And thirdly, there's his age. 31 years of age. Teams prefer to invest in younger players. And fourthly, there's his reputation. Oh yes, rumours of him being a party animal, as well as being lazy and already a wealthy millionaire, means that only teams with very low budgets are interested in signing him. And Mariano is not willing to play for teams like that. Although he plays for the Dominican national team, it's not at a high competitive level, and pulling on the shirt and participating seems more like an attempt to stay relevant than a test of true quality, a shop window, if you like, to see if there are any multi-million-dollar teams from the Middle East or the United States of America capable of signing him. But football clubs are looking for commitment, and Mariano is not exactly projecting that kind of air right now. The story of Mariano Díaz is one of talent and setbacks and controversy. You, dear viewers, do you think Mariano will be able to resurface, or do you think his career is over? Make sure to leave us your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel, and also activate the bell for more content like this. And we will, of course, see you in the next video.